Tell us who you are, man. We want to go back to diapers, man. Tell us who you are. Tell us about yourself, man.
So my name is Anthony Donahue. I was born November 17th, 1983 in Jacoby Hospital in the Bronx.
Oh, wow.
Hold on.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know you was from the Bronx.
I didn't know that either. That's crazy.
We from the BX. Yo, that's why we get along so well. Birthday coming up soon?
On Thursday, November 17th.
Happy early birthday, man.
About to be 39.
Hey.
That's amazing.
Yep.
39 still running 30 miles. Let's get it. All right, my fault, man. I had to interrupt for the Bronx. Keep going, man.
So I'm from Co-op City. I live in Co-op City now. I was born in Jacoby Hospital. I lived on Duncan Street, which is in the North Bronx, from ages 0 to 8.
Dang.
Duncan Street's predominantly Jamaican neighborhood. Then when I was 8, I moved upstate with my grandparents.
Nice.
Because my mother was on drugs. She was doing a lot of heroin and many other things.
Dang.
And I moved upstate. I didn't meet, my dad was not in my life. I didn't even know his name. Then I went upstate to the Catskills. And then I came back to this Bronx when I was 17. And I've been back since 2001. And that's my story. Show's over.
Hey, this is the end of the professional of the podcast.
That's it.
All right, man.
That's a brief 45-second synopsis.
Yeah, we're basically twins, but I'm just darker than you at this point.
But I do consider myself a dark-skinned white guy. You know?
You're from the Bronx. You grew up in the Jamaican area. You're one of us, man.
That guy's got the same beard.
Word up.
Yeah. It makes sense why I always see you at Co-op eating Italian food now. I mean, City Island, excuse me.
City Island, Bronx Neck, Mars Park, great Italian food. Sometimes I go over to Arthur Avenue, but if you don't really need to go to Arthur Avenue. Yeah. You know, Arthur Avenue is very touristy. It's cool. It's not too far from where I live, but Throgs Neck, Mars Park has great Italian food in the Bronx. Also, some places in Westchester.
Nice.
So yes, I do eat good.
So you're Italian.
Italian and Irish.
Yes. Nice, man.
Yep.
Yeah. You cook good?
I never really learned to cook.
Got you.
Just one of my regrets in my life, and I'm not saying I wouldn't be willing to learn. I just, I always got cooked for.
Yeah.
My little sister actually cooked for me. She learned to cook when she was like 10, 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
Being on my own, I get a lot of meal preps and probably do go out to eat a lot.
Hey.
So a lot of people may know you from a couple of things, right? Yeah. Very viral Humans of New York story, the face of the Knicks from the public standpoint.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into all of that, but I want to go back to the childhood, and I want to, go in as much detail as you feel comfortable about. Yeah. And I know a lot of people feel like they know you, but we have a lot of time here.
Yeah,
we don't just have 10 paragraphs.
For sure.
So tell us about, how rough it was growing up in the Bronx and, some of the things you had to battle with your family.
Yeah. So I grew up in the Bronx and I always had my grandparents and, I had my uncle, my aunt. My mom was running around being crazy. She worked back in the day, even before I was born. She was working and playing in a band actually at CBGB's, a famous club down on Bowery. So she was always running wild. Dang. And I was in the Bronx. Actually, my first love was hockey, believe it or not.
Wow.
I played in the hockey league over at Waterbury Park when I was in 3rd grade.
Nice.
I always was surrounded by a lot of love, with my grandparents. They raised me. And, it always hurt that my mom wasn't around at all. And then in the summer going into 3rd grade, I really liked trains. My grandparents took me upstate to go on a train ride in the town of Arkville, New York. And at the time, my grandparents just retired.
Yeah. So
we go upstate about 3 hours away. We go on this train ride in the Catskills. And on our way home, I vaguely remember I was going to 3rd grade. It was like July, August, 1991.
Dang.
My grandparents like, yo, we're moving up here. And for the next year, once a week, every 2 weeks, we would drive up to the Catskills. And they found this town called Walton, New York. And the summer after 3rd grade, 1992, I went from a school with black kids, white kids, Russian kids, Hispanic kids, Asian kids. I moved upstate to a bunch of blonde-haired kids with blue eyes and Brads and Joshes.
And how was that experience?
Oh, it was great. I loved living up there. I would never live there again. I left right after high school.
Yeah.
But to be so young, to have so much freedom. I had no freedom living in the Bronx. I can't go ride my bike to the corner.
Yeah, that's true.
One time I did actually, and a couple kids pushed me off the bike and took it.
Dang.
So you couldn't do that in the Bronx. The best thing about moving upstate early in my childhood was basketball hoops had nets.
Ah,
Bro, that was a game changer for me.
yeah.
Basketball hoops had nets, and that was amazing.
Yo, that's so sad, bro.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yo, that's that Bronx story though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like,
I never played with a net before.
yeah.
Damn.
But it was great moving up there. You know, like I said, I moved there with my grandparents. At that time, I mean, my mom was down in the city. She had just met, so my mom got married around 1989, 1990-ish to a guy named John. They were married for about 8-9 months. They got divorced, and then she met Dorian not too much after, and they ended up getting married a year later, a few months later, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Who ended up being my sister's father. So I was upstate. You know, I didn't know who my dad was. I didn't know his name. Didn't know where he was. That probably really didn't start affecting me until my teen years, though, I would say. Or,
Yeah.
11, 12 years old. Because I'd be like, wait, all these other kids have dads. Even if, like, their parents are split, where's my dad? You know, and that really bothered me because I had my mom's last name. And on the birth certificate, it's just blank. So sometimes, people would say, even to this day, people say, well, what happened the night you were born? Well, motherfucker, I don't know what happened when I came out. I don't remember that shit.
Yeah.
I've heard stories from that night.
Exactly.
He was apparently kicked out of the hospital because he was on heroin.
Oh my
Him
God.
and my mom were dated off and on, I think, for about 2 to 3 years. They met at CBGB's back in the late 70s, actually.
Wow.
Oh, man.